So hello and very good morning dear students. In the last lecture we have completed the correlation and regression chapter of section C. Now we are going to do the chapter 15th of section A, that is probability. So as we have already completed the section C, now we are again coming to the section A and we are taking the topic probability. So, in the today's lecture, we will be understanding the meaning of probability as well as the basic part, and what we will be going to study, that also will be discussed. So, the today's topic probability, as you are already known with this chapter in class 10, where you studied about the probability, its formula, and what are the cases or what are the situations or the word problems can be formed in this chapter. So first of all, introduction would be of this chapter would be the probability is a topic in which you deal with the possibilities. Okay, so it is the branch of that branch of mathematics which deals with the possibilities. Okay, possibility like it may rain today. Okay, I'm saying one statement that it may rain today. So you can see how much uncertainty is there in this particular word. Or if I say like Rajesh is quite sure to top his class. So maybe he tops or maybe he does not. Okay, so for example, it is highly unlikely that Salman will marry Deepika, or I have bet 100 rupees on India winning against Pakistan, or you may say, or you can think of the statements which are uncertain, where there is no certainty. So all these statements, they show some uncertainty, and whenever you have some uncertainty, we introduce probability. Okay, so that is what the probability is, and you know the simple formula of probability of any of the event. If I take A to be any event of the probability, okay, then the simple formula is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. I hope this formula is clear to you, because we have done many questions in the 10th class. Then comes random experiment and the sample space. What do you mean by random experiment? You know that if an experiment which is done blindly or without knowing or without expecting, like say for example, I have a bag in which there are two colors of ball, that is red and black, and I'm putting my hand in the bag and picking one ball without actually seeing in that bag. There I'm doing a random experiment. Okay, so tossing a coin, rolling a die, taking one card from the deck of 52 cards, drawing the balls from the bag, drawing the ball from the urn. So these all are the examples of random experiment. Okay, then comes the sample space. The word sample space, you know the meaning of sample space. So whenever you toss a coin, tossing a coin, so you have two cases. Either you will get head or you will get tail. Or if you are rolling a die, so you have 6 cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what does the sample space means? The collection of all the possible outcomes which you get from any of the random experiment. So from an experiment or from an event, if you want to find all the possible outcomes, that means you are going for the sample space. I hope this word is clear to you. Now if you come to, now there are many of the things in this probability. Let us have a recap whatever we studied in the 10th class. So the very first thing, as the formula is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. This is the very first. Second thing is the value of probability always lies between 0 and 1. That means the probability of any of the events can be less than greater than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to 1. If your probability is exactly equal to 0, then we say that that event is impossible event, and if your probability is exactly equal to 1, then we call that event to be a sure event or the certain event. Okay, so impossible event and sure, yeah, certain event. Okay, then the third thing of probability, that probability of the event plus probability of its not happening should be equal to 1. That means probability of happening plus probability of not happening is equal to 1. Okay, then then there comes like many of the experiments. If you toss a coin, so you have how much? 2 to the power n ways. Okay, if you toss the coin, you have 2 to the power n ways of giving the sample space. How 2 to the power n? Because as we know, for a coin there are two faces, head and tail, so 2 to the power n. So if you toss the coin, if you toss one coin, that means n will be equal to 1, so you will have 2 to the power 1, that means you will have two sample space, and those two sample space are head and tail. If you toss two coins, that means if two coins are tossed, then you will have 2 to the power 2, which is equal to 4. So how 4 outcomes can be? Head head, head tail, tail head, and tail tail. So 2 to the power 2. If I say that toss 5 coins, so how much sample space you will be having? So 2 to the power 5, which is 32, and you can understand that how this 32 can be formed. H H H H H H H H H T. So like that you have to form 32. Okay, let us not go into it, but you should understand that how to know the number of sample space generated on tossing. 1 coin, 2 coin, 3 coin, or n coins. Similarly, can you form the formula for the die? If you roll the die, so if you roll the die, then 6 to the power n ways can be generated. Why this 6 we are taking? Because there are 6 faces. Okay, so for 6 faces, you will be having 6 to the power n. If you roll a die, then 6 to the power 1, that means 6 sample space. If you roll 2 dice, then it will be 36. If you roll 3 dice, then it will be 216, and so on. So did you understand how to form the sample space, how to know the number of the sample space, provided if they are saying to roll or die this much times, then you can go with such and such formula. Then next comes the cards. You must know about cards very well. Okay, so let us have a quick just see how many types are there. So all in all, there are 52 cards. Okay, now how these 52 cards are formed, please try to understand this. So there are 4 suits. What 4 suits it is having? A diamond, this is called diamond. Then hearts, this is called club, and this is called spade. So there are 4 suits all in all: diamonds, hearts, club, spade. Now for all the 4 suits there are 13 cards, and those 13 cards include king, queen, jack, and starting the numbering is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and ace. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are total 13 cards. So 13 here also, 13 here 13 fours are 52. So that is how the 52 cards are there, a deck of 52 cards. Now remember one thing, if anybody asks you that how many face cards are there in the 52 cards, so always remember there are only 3 face cards: king, queen, jack. We don't consider ace to be the face card. Face card, by the name itself you can understand that there is a face and a face card. So there are 3 face cards in one suit. So for the 4 suits, 3 fours are 12. So there are 12 face cards. Okay. And coming to their color, so these 2 are of red color and these 2 are of black color. So 2 red and 2 black. So there are how many red color cards? 26. And black color cards are also 26. So this is what I have taught you, the basics about the first exercise. First exercise is just the basic one, the oral exercise, which you don't have to do in the copy. Just understand them. They are asking you what will be the sample space when such and such experiment is done. So you can just understand, see the examples. That is enough. Okay. Now let us head to the next exercise. That is, first of all, they have just given the definitions. The first one is event. What do you mean by event? So a subset of the sample space associated with the random experiment is called the event. Let me explain you the meaning of event. See, what is the actual meaning of event? So, like if I'm rolling a die, okay. So rolling. This is the experiment. Okay. So I'm starting with random experiment. What random experiment I'm doing? Rolling a die. So what will be the sample space then? 6. And those 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm saying I'm taking one event, and that event I'm taking probability of getting even number. So I am taking an event, the probability of even number, and as I know that there are just 3 even numbers, so number of favorable outcome is 3, total number of outcome is 6. I am getting answer 1/2. Okay, so which says that I have decided one event, or I am expecting, or I am just trying to find the probability or the possibility of getting the even number from rolling the die. Okay, so you should understand the meaning of event, that a subset which is taken from the sample space, okay, or it is written here, a subset of the sample space associated with the random experiment. Okay, so I hope you understood. We can form so many events here. One more event can be formed as the probability of getting prime number, the probability of getting the odd number. Okay, so like this you can form n number of events in this, okay, which is associated with the random experiment. Occurrence of the event, when the outcome of an experiment satisfies the condition, the event will occur. So here even number, getting prime number, getting odd number is satisfying our definition. Now if I ask you what is the probability of getting the negative number, so here we don't have the negative, so that event will not occur in this random experiment, and the probability of that event will be 0, because that is the impossible event. Okay. Now there are types of events also given. The first type is compound event. What do you mean by compound event? By the name itself, can you make out what do you mean by the compound event? Okay, so if compound event has 2 or more than 2 sample space, like rolling a die 2 times, rolling 2 dice, yeah, tossing 3 coins. Okay, so these are the compound events. If you are tossing the 3 coins, then there will be 2 to the power 3, 8 sample space, and there you need to count HHH, HTT, TTH. So that is what going on a compound complex thing. So we consider that those to be the complex or the compound events. Then sure event and impossible event, I already told you. Sure events are those events whose probability is exactly equal to 1, and for impossible event, the probability is exactly equal to 0. Then equally likely outcome. What do you mean by this equally likely outcomes? Try to understand. So equally likely outcomes. If I toss a coin, so can you tell me what will be the sample space? And then tail. So if I ask you what is the probability of getting tail, so what is the probability of getting tail? Tail is 1 and the total is 2, so 1 by 2. And what is the probability of getting the head? So probability of getting head is also 1 by 2. So as you can see that if their probabilities are same, that means the probability of head coming on the coin and the probability of tail coming on the coin is same. That means they both are equally likely outcome. That means whatever the probability of H coming will be equal to the probability of T coming in the coin. That is equally likely outcome. Like you have seen the cricket matches where they decides that who will be going to do the first inning by tossing the coin. Because coin tossing is considered as the best way to decide among the two teams which team is going to head first. Like if there are 6 teams, so can you understand that which thing they will be doing? They will be rolling the die for deciding which team should be doing their first inning. Okay, so if you take the dice example also, they are also getting each number, the probability of getting 1, the probability of getting 2, the probability of getting 3 number, 4 number on the dice, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 and 1 by 6. Similarly, if you go for the cards, the probability of getting each number, that means every card is equally probable to come. Okay, so their probabilities can be 1 by 52, 1 by 52, 1 by 52 and so on. So that is what equally likely outcome. Then comes the algebra of the event. What do you mean by the complement of the event? What do you mean by or? What do you mean by and? A but not B, exhaustive event, mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. So let us go for that. Okay. So first of all, we'll understand complement of A and B. What is the meaning? We have studied set chapter in the very start, and that chapter will really help you in the probability. How? You know what is A complement. Okay, let me take one example and we'll understand how. See, I'm taking S 1, 2, 3. This is very important example. Please try to understand it very clearly. Like say for example, I am taking a universal set or S you may call as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A event I am taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And B event I am taking 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. And if I tell you to draw this particular case in the Venn diagram, so will the Venn diagram look like this? Okay. So what do you mean by complement of A here? Complement means from the universal set, you have to remove this A set and whatever the remaining you are getting, that will be the complement of A. Okay, that means not A. When sometimes you call this as not A also. Not A, yeah, A complement, yeah, A dash. So from the universal set, remove this all. So 2 is removed, 4 is removed, 6 is removed, and 8 is removed. So you are left with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That's it. Okay. And if I talk about not B, which is B complement, so can you tell me on removing this from here? So you will be left with 2, 6, 8 and 10, right? From the Venn diagram, you can understand like if this is the universal set and if you have this as A, then this remaining distance, okay, that means this will be your A complement. Similarly, B complement will be that only. Okay. Then the next one is A or B. What do you mean by A or B? So always remember in probability chapter, I told you in set chapter also, or is denoting the union case and is denoting the intersection case. Okay, so if A or B, write this in the top of your fair copy. This is a very important thing. Or denotes union and denotes the intersection. I hope you can, with some mnemonics, you can understand them. Okay, so A or B. So A or B means A union B. So do the union of them. So if you do the union, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then comes A and B. So if you want to do A and B, so you need to do the intersection here. Okay. So intersection means, is there any common thing between A and B? So as you can see that this 4 is common. Okay, so the answer will be 4. So that is what A and B and A or B. I hope this is clear to you. Then A but not B. A but not B. This is also represented as A minus B. What do you mean by this A minus B? You have to remove these elements from this one and you will get the answer of that. That means 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. From this A set, if you can see any of these numbers here, to remove that. So as you can, this 4 is here and 4 is here also. So we remove 4 and whatever is left in A, not in B, A, because we are doing A minus B. So from A you have to remove B. And as B, these two are matching, so we need to remove this and our answer will be 2, 6, 8, 10. In the Venn diagram, let me just show you that I think you know about how the Venn diagram of A union and A intersection will look like. So A union B will look like, if you are taking this whole, so this is A union of B. For A intersection B, only this part. Okay, this part is A intersection B. Now understand what is A minus B. Okay, so A minus B, this much part is only A minus B. So can you understand B minus A then? So B minus A will be this one. If you consider this will be AB, this AB, okay, AB, AB. So this part is B minus A, which can be represented as B but not A, which is B minus A. And you can mention the answer will be 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, about not A, not B, A or B, A and B, A but not B, B but not A. Now understand the two very important thing, that is exhaustive and mutually exclusive events. Okay, so let us understand that. From this example only I will explain you what is mutually exclusive and exhaustive event. Say for example, if this is the question where your total set is this S, A is this one and B is this one. If I ask you what will be A union B, so your answer should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Because on doing their union 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and which is nothing but your S or the universal set. So if you are doing A union B and you are getting the whole union set or the whole universal set, then here these two events will be called exhaustive events. Try to understand, dear students, that if you are doing the union of two events or two sets and you are getting the whole universal set, then you call those two events to be exhaustive event because they both exhausted and they got the universal set. Alright, now if I ask you what is A intersection B, so A intersection B, in these two, can you see any common number? No, there is no common number, so their intersection will become 5 because we don't write 0 actually, we represent it by 5. So whenever the two events on their intersection, if we get 5 as the answer, then we call those two events to be exclusive events. You know the meaning of exclusive, the new, the different. That means the two sets are totally different or they both are new. They are not matching at all. So that is what they are called, the exclusive events. Getting my point? Exhaustive events when their union is the whole set and when their intersection is nothing. And you know, I have taken such example which is the case of both exhaustive and exclusive. So we call that here A and B are mutually exclusive and exhaustive event. I hope this definition is much clear to you that A and B are exclusive and exhaustive events, mutually exhaustive or exclusive events. Okay, so this is what the explanation of the second exercise. Okay, we'll do some questions in the next lecture. Till that, you write all the definitions, concept, examples. Okay, and we'll come up with the questions in the next exercise. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.